Our coverage of CES 2019 is brought to you by dbrand. Their grip case and prism screen protectors give you 360-degree coverage for even Linus drop-proof protection. Here we are. ASUS hasn't even set up yet in here. In fact, this is like they kind of pulled me aside from the pre-briefing thing, and they were like, okay, yeah, that stuff's really cool, but like, come on in here. We got this. And I was like, that's an ROG Strix Scar II. Why are you pulling me in here for this? Everything about this is like basically normal Strix Scar stuff. So you got a bunch of ventilation for your cooling, you got a bunch of heat pipes, and you got a bunch of heat sinks because you got powerful graphics, 6-core 8750H processor, you got like a bunch of I/O, SD card reader, and RGB backlit keyboard. And is this individually backlit? Yeah, individually backlit. Cool, that's good stuff. All right, so okay, so we got RGB. ASUS living up to their reputation clearly. No Thunderbolt, but lots of display. We got wired networking and all that cool stuff. And they're like, no, hold on a second, Linus, don't walk away yet. Because I was halfway out of the room. I'm like, look, you guys don't even respect me enough to put away your packing materials before. See, our ASUS rep is hiding. He's hiding back there because he's like, oh no, I'm going to get in all kinds of trouble for this. But he's like, no, come back, because this thing is what I have been asking for so long. So first of all, they've added some better rigidity. So the thing with Strix for ASUS is they can't seem to decide if it's a premium brand or if it's kind of like their value brand, because they've got ROG, like the high-end ROG, and then Strix was like kind of this value one, but then they're like, no, it's like it's for gaming, it's premium. And they're finally taking that seriously. So they've added more metal to the bottom of the chassis. So this is now a really rigid chassis. Like it makes the overall device feel quite a lot better. Still a little flimsy up here, room for improvement there, but baby steps, right? But the big thing I've been asking for is watch this. Holy crap. So for years now, I've been saying the same thing that actually Apple's been saying, and we don't agree on everything for sure, but you don't need higher resolution once you get to the point where you can't distinguish the individual pixels. And so while 4K displays make a ton of sense if you've got a 32-inch monitor, because at the distance you'd sit, you would easily be able to make out the pixels on QHD or something like that. For laptops, this race to 4K has just been frustrating for me. We're sucking up extra battery, we're making the screens dimmer, because the closer you pack the pixels, actually the harder it is to push the backlight through them. Like, we're doing all these counterproductive things when what we should be focusing on is refresh rate. This, to my knowledge, is the first laptop in the world with a 240 hertz display. And not just that, but check this out. So it's using a sharp IGZO panel that has among the best anti-ghosting that I have seen. Certainly the best I've seen on a laptop. Look at this. Like, it's hard to appreciate at 30 frames per second through a YouTube compression filter, but I can read this text as I'm moving it around on the screen. That would have been unthinkable on anything but a CRT in the past. I mean, maybe a high-end TN panel, but that's not what this is. This is an IGZO panel. It's not like just like bad viewing angle junk. Check this out. So this is the closest thing I've ever seen to a zero compromises mobile gaming experience, because high refresh rate is a true competitive advantage where higher resolution is not. And speaking of competitive advantage, unfortunately, they had to have like someone directly over my shoulder the entire time to make sure that I didn't run any of these tantalizing benchmarks over here. But this is actually going to be equipped with an RTX 2080 Max-Q design, or whatever NVIDIA's latest nomenclature for that is. Now, ASUS can't tell me under pain of death what kind of performance we could expect for this compared to a regular RTX 2080, but if I had to go out on a limb, I'd say, well, the Max-Q ones last gen were about 10% lower, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something along those lines. Now, there's still room for improvement here. This webcam, bad. Terrible. Not only is it on the bottom, it's off-center. Clearly they expect absolutely no one to use it. But other than that, the keyboard feels better than last gen. Trackpad acceptable, could be bigger, but this is looking pretty freaking sick. So my stylus fell out, but it should be noted that that is the only damage that my phone sustained. So this is the D-brand grip. It features super clicky buttons. It's really grippy. It's got precise cutouts for all your various things, be they fingerprint sensors, cameras, or whatever the case may be. And of course, fantastic impact resistance. As you might expect for D-brand, every grip case has a customizable spot on the back, so you can put any D-brand skin you'd like on the back. And then as for the front, their Prism screen protector is kind of unbelievable. So it feels very glassy on the front, but it's not glass. Like there's this demo they had me do that made me feel very uncomfortable, hammering nails in with a phone that had a Prism installed on the front, and somehow the screen survived. I thought, like, I love D-brand, they're our bros, but I thought they must have kind of fudged it a little bit when they did the demo, but they didn't. And you should just go check it out at the link in the video description. So, thanks for checking out this video, guys. If you disliked it, hit that button, but if you liked it, get subscribed so you don't miss any of our CES 2019 content. We'll see you in the next suite.